A little while ago, someone asked me if I could beat this map Last Resort with the Etienne and moab domination strategy because I've been showing that off a little bit, and especially because Etienne got a buff where Etienne can now give more range. This one is actually pretty cool and it's a great addition to the strategy. So let's give this a whirl and see how much cash spare we can get. Unfortunately, I don't remember who suggested this nor where this was suggested, so if the person is here, that's pretty cool. Leave a comment, that would be nice to see, but it was a fun suggestion, so let's just roll with it. I'm going to be starting off with the dart and boomerang up at the top, and we're going to be trying to just focus everything into that top corner where boomerang is. That's kind of, I guess, the obvious spot. There really is no other place that's good on this map. Speaking of which, I'm kind of conflicted about this map for this reason and another reason too. I want to really think it's fun, and it has like some neat gimmicks where the lengths will change like depending on which round set, but also just being so forced with the placement is something that I don't really like. Like if you were to have a ton of setups for like a ton of different strategies, they're all going to be looking pretty much the exact same. It's just everything is shoved up in that one corner with nothing really else. And then on top of that, it makes some rounds a lot harder than others, while the rounds that aren't hard are trivially easy most of the time. Mostly concerning like round 98, where then round 100 is pretty much going to be like the bottleneck a lot of the times. Now this creates a little bit of issue with like difficulty throughout the whole run, because in this run, for example, I could make like things difficult if round 100 wasn't so difficult, or if like the other rounds were made harder, then round 100 in comparison would be like a lot easier. Same with like, I guess, round 99 a little bit. So basically in this run, like all of the rounds that you would typically think were hard were actually really easy, and like it was kind of boring a little bit in a way, but it's all right, not that bad. I still feel like I kind of enjoyed playing the map. Like sometimes it's nice to get a break, and I think that's kind of where it will fit in if you want like something that's easier. But I guess that was a little ramble about the map itself. I should get back to like the strategy and the gameplay here. So anyways, we're going for a spiked mines mid game. We're just gonna have that out buffed, and I'm gonna get Etienne and the Moab press. I pre-placed that out there. I'm not going to be upgrading that to the Berserker route until after I get Moab domination, but we're just going to be sitting with this, and I was completely surprised that this almost saved up for Moab domination. What I ended up having to get was just a little bit of pierce, so I cleverly get that through the first strike, which will be a required purchase later on for round 100, so I get just the ballistic missile there to help out, and that's able to save up with pretty much nothing wasted. Well, I guess I technically did have to waste the spiked mines, but that was, I needed a mid-game save up at least, because I'm not going to be pairing the Moab domination with anything else. So it was a really cheap solution. The mid-game honestly was, I feel like, was kind of the coolest, at least for me. Maybe you might think the late game was cooler, but there were a lot of really tight rounds, really clutch rounds. I had to have Etienne's abilities come in at good times, and it was pretty cool. So that's pretty much the mid game. I'll come back later on when some more stuff happens. See you soon. Coming back here on round 87, pushing the late game, I got the Moab domination up pretty early, which is really great. It's good to see being able to get such an expensive tower like before round 80. It makes things just really nice that 80s aren't any of a struggle. So I get that. We overclock it. That's just going to be doing a lot more damage. I get primary training and 320 alpha. That's just like the standard support that you get a Moab domination. And with all of that, and I guess Etienne's buff too, get the free camo, which is nice. This thing is just incredibly strong now. So strong that I feel like I could just cut out the Berserker Brew and I'd still be able to beat the tricky rounds. But yeah, we do need that first strike for round 100. There's kind of no way getting around that, so we'll have that there. And this should just be all we'll need. So I'm going to be hopefully getting the rest with spare cash, and I'll have to use some abilities here and there. Not really a whole lot though. The Moab domination is strong and can pretty easily pick up most of it. Round 99 is going to need the level 20 UCAV, and I also have to do some interesting things where I have to like wait for the dragon to be in the right position where I start, because half the time the Etienne's dragon, or I guess well UCAV, is going to be attacking the back of the wave, so like it's not really doing anything useful, which is something that's a little bit annoying, but it's alright because the thing is just strong anyways. So I have to time it so that when the end of the wave comes up, it's going to be cleaning up on the side, which will be pretty good. And then we can take out 100 like this and win with a pretty decent amount, just under 58,000 cash spare. And yeah, the Moab domination is strong, and I think just really good with Etienne. There's a lot of synergy, and especially with the range now, it's just a very cool combination.
Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!